I am very sorry. That was a profoundly moving report. James, thank you very much, as always.
All right.
So who would hire in this kind of environment? A Republican Congressman, Jem Hensarling of Texas, who wonders the same thing. The Congressman, James, just ended with this jaw-dropping report that said, well, contrary to all the union bashing, when push comes to shove, it's not killing their respective states' economies where they're the strongest.
Well, what you clearly see, Neil, is that the only hiring that's been done in America are all government jobs. In many respects, that's what the stimulus bill was all about, and that was assuring that different government labor unions were kept whole by the federal taxpayer. And so you've seen government payrolls increase since the Stimulus Act of roughly 500,000, yet private payrolls have been decreased about 2.6 million. I mean, the truth is the greatest impediment to private job growth in America today is Washington policies, and the report you gave earlier is clearly a part of that.
Congressman, we're going to hear from a union type in just a second, but the argument has always been that unions, especially when powerful, go a long way toward closing the gap between the very rich and the very poor. Is that an admirable goal, just at face value, for you?
Well, what's an admirable goal to me is the preservation of individual freedom and liberty, and that includes the liberty to join a labor union if you want to. But too many of the rules have been written to favor labor unions, which are really a monopoly on labor, like the Davis-Bacon Act that says that you can't compete on price. Essentially, you got to pay these union wages. This whole card check, which is really a
well, they don't say union wages, right? You're right in a weird sense here that they don't say union wages, but the prevailing wage, which ends up being the higher union wage. But you're quite right about that. What worries you, that this is denying jobs for other folks or costing them out of getting a job, period?
Well, I think it is taking jobs away from other people. You saw the administration act in Chrysler and GM, where the labor unions were favored over other creditors. That makes them less likely to go and invest. I mean, in many respects, today in America, we don't have a capital shortage as much as we have a confidence shortage, and part of the confidence shortage is the confidence of investors to invest when they saw how the UAW, United Auto Workers, relative to other creditors of GM and Chrysler, they made out like bandits. And so there are many instances I can give of this crisis of confidence, but employers today, they don't know what their health care costs are going to be. They don't know what their energy costs are going to be. And now with this financial regulatory bill that has something like 250 to 300 new rulemakings, they don't know what their cost of capital is going to be.